Alright guys, 𝙀𝙓𝙋𝘼𝙉𝘿 is launching later today, so I wanted to give you guys a bit of information about what you need to do to prepare for starting playing the game. If you find today's video helpful, leave a like, subscribe to the channel as well if new. Okay, so I can't play the game yet, and I don't really have gameplay recorded for stuff, so I'm just going to be going off a lot of information from like Private and different, maybe some YouTube overlay stuff if I get time for it, because I'm kind of busy today with work and stuff, so yeah. But basically, 𝙀𝙓𝙋𝘼𝙉𝘿 is going to be launching later today. As you can see, we've got 8 hours left on the countdown. If you want to check the countdown, I'll leave a link in the description below if you wish to check it. But there's some little things I wanted to just kind of talk about before we start today. Start the game tomorrow or later today. Okay, so first things first, you can pre-download and pre-register for the game right now. You can basically just on your phone, just go into your app store and you can just download it very simply. Secondly, if you wish to play on PC, you can play it on any emulator. Of course, the usual ones recommended is usually BlueStacks. I'm going to be using LD Player. I'll let you guys know if there are any issues or which one's better, probably soon. But for the most part, you can play on PC through an emulator. If you need a guide on how to do that, Private has provided you exactly with a source. You just come down to the side here, click play on PC, and it gives you all the information you need to kind of know. Okay, so there are a couple things I want to kind of talk about. The first is going to be re-rolling. Now, this hasn't been 100% confirmed yet whether we're going to be getting the same thing on our version in the global, but according to the Canadian server, they actually had a much worse reroll time as opposed to the 𝙀𝙓𝙋𝘼𝙉𝘿 server, which is a little bit of an issue to me. Am I still going to be playing the game? Yes. Am I still going to be having fun playing the game? Absolutely. But it kind of disappoints me a little bit. So on 𝙀𝙓 and JP, it was a 7 to 10 minute, maybe 15 minute reroll time per reroll, and you could do it on a phone or an emulator, and you could delete your account, so it was easier to kind of like, just quickly get through them. But on global, it's like 50 to 60 minutes, or sorry, on Canadian server, it was 50 to 60 minutes. You could only do it on an emulator, and you could not delete your account. So I believe you would have to use like multiple emails or something stupid. It was not apparently very good on the Canadian server. Now, it's the same publisher for the global server, so it hasn't been confirmed as to whether that's going to be the same for us yet. Based because of the fact we just don't know that we can't play it yet, we can't see it. But there's I'd say since it's the same publisher, there's a pretty good chance. So yeah, not fun. And the reason why it takes 50 to 60 minutes is they kind of staggered the pre-registration rewards out through the first few hours of the game, which kind of sucks. But if you want to read over the information, you can decide here for yourself if you wish to do it. But very simply, basically you start the game as log in as a guest, and then you have to like bind an email later. But it takes just longer because you have to get to a certain point of the story before you get all your rewards, which kinda sucks. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be re-rolling this game. I was going to because I've actually tried a little bit of the 𝙀𝙓𝙋𝘼𝙉𝘿 server. I didn't get very far. But I was going to initially re-roll if it was going to be like a 7-10 minute timer, because that's very easy. That's like, what, 6+ re-rolls per hour, so it's like pretty good. I was going to make a video on it, but I'm not going to be doing that if it's going to be 50 to 60 minutes per re-roll on a video for YouTube. So yeah, not going to be doing that. Okay, so on a little bit more of a positive note, sorry, I didn't mean to start that off so negatively, characters that you should be pulling for or trying to go for early on in the game. Now, I haven't really played the game too much yet, so you can take my opinion with a grain of salt, but I'm going to go off of what Tier List in Private has done, and I've watched a few other videos, and a lot of people are kind of leaning towards these two characters here for pretty much everything. Getting these two are apparently the top ones you want to get, Lotus and Mars. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because, yet again, I haven't really played the game too much. I don't really want to give you an opinion on these characters because I don't feel like I'm creditable enough to do that yet, because I literally have not played much of the game. So for those of you who want information on the game, this is the kind of two characters that people are saying to get that I've seen in the community lately. So yeah. Now, as for kind of my thoughts on the small amount of the game I did play when I did play it, gameplay was very fun. Graphics are pretty good. The things like PvP and having different things like that was a really good options for things. I didn't mind the grinding, and I didn't mind like the gearing systems and stuff. But there was one standout thing, and there's probably more issues with the game, but this is the only one I really had enough time to be able to say that it kind of annoyed me. They have this weird kind of like stamina system for story chapters. It's really strange. I don't even know how to explain it. Basically, you get like I think it's like 6 story tickets, and then like you'll hit like there'll be like a certain section of the story where you won't have to use them, and then you'll hit a point in the story and then you will, and each chapter in that point of the story will use like one of these tickets, and then it's just, I don't know, it just felt like a very gatey way of like making artificially inflating the amount of content on like the first couple days or like week of the game. and they really didn't like it. Tower Fantasy did a similar thing where they level capped you for certain content, and I hated that. I don't like being capped on like what I can do in the first day of a game, so I don't know whether that's still going to be in global, or whether that's being removed or kept, but if it's there, not my favorite thing in the world. But regardless, guys, I'm very much looking forward to this game. I'm keen to dig in. The reason I kind of didn't dig in to the game at first is because I was only playing on the 𝙀𝙓𝙋𝘼𝙉 server, and then like the Canadian version of the game came out. I'm like, great, I might jump into global because global can't be too much further off. Well, turns out about 3 months later, it didn't come out, so we got delayed massively on the global version. But regardless, anyways, that's all for today.
After all, Elio didn't put it in the script. Why would it matter?
Bon.